Long ago, in the ancient land of Wisconsin, a group of nerds delved deep into the depths of Milwaukee Area Technical College. It was neither gold nor silver they sought, but knowledge of video games and the video game industry. They called this epic journey the Dev Quest. Welcome to the Dev Quest, a podcast where we talk about video games and the video game industry. I'm your host, John Harwood, and I'm joined by my co-host,
Josh Madison,
the Lorax, and
Ian Ehlers,
and
Jason Wisniewski.
We're all laughing because we were doing impressions before this. Welcome to the Dev Quest. I'm your host, Chrisopher Walken, and I am joined by my co-host, the Lorax. Alright, but anyways, on to our first topic. The two different kinds of RPGs, Xenoblade v Fallout. Ian, can you elaborate on why I wrote this?
Okay, one of the big reasons is that there's a huge difference between Western and Eastern RPGs.
I'm not in us.
One of the biggest differences is actually how we see our characters. Kind of like if you look at Final Fantasy opposed to games like Skyrim, you'll notice that there's a huge difference in just how we put importance on the characters. Because in Final Fantasy, you go, depending on which one, but let's go from 7 because it's undoubtedly one of the better ones.
Okay.
But it's that you care for Cloud, and yet you have no relation to him, but yet you want him to succeed. One of the biggest differences between Western RPGs opposed to Eastern is that with Eastern, like the ones in like Final Fantasy and Xenoblade, is that you almost never take the place as your own character that you've made.
Right.
You play as a character that already exists, and many characters around that exist and are very fleshed out and have very intricate stories, some going back centuries in some cases.
Okay.
Opposed to in Western style RPGs that you're largely making your own character. You're putting yourself into the character's shoes, and you're making their story. I mean, a great example is Fallout New Vegas, the Live Another Life mod, where you have like, I think it's almost like 50 different backgrounds that you can pick from.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on which one of those, you can make this whole exceedingly elaborate story from, and you can say like, oh, I was a soldier who grew up in the NCR, and I was born in the hub, and I had training in like small arms fire, and I'm used to heavy armor because I was on commando missions and stuff like that.
Okay.
And it's a huge difference opposed to Western style RPGs to Eastern, because we have a huge different idealism.
Okay. So what you're saying is that Japanese RPGs are sort of, or Eastern RPGs are sort of more sort of centered around the narrative of certain characters, whereas more Western RPGs are about your character that you've built yourself.
Yeah. Kind of like one of the few differences as far as like Western style RPGs is actually The Witcher, in which you play the role as Geralt.
That's it, Geralt of Rivia.
Yeah. And it's that...
Which is a cool name, by the way.
Mm-hmm. But it's that you can still see that there's a lot of Western implementations. I think I said that correct.
Implementations.
Yeah, implementations.
Implements?
Western
We'll pass
style.
this.
And you can see that because you're making him, as Geralt, you're making those choices. But you can also see that there's a lot of Eastern style involvement as well, because you can see that every single character is fleshed out in a way that's not very common in most Western games, which I have to say I think it's actually a really good mix of the two, and I'd really like to see more like it.
Okay. Yeah, that's an interesting point. I mean, I guess trying to do both of those would be a little bit difficult, because it's like, well, so you want to make your own character, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then how do you develop that character in ways that will apply to other characters in the story as well?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can see that kind of being like a big problem, but
I mean, one very cliche way to do is to go the amnesia route and just go like, oh, you got a rocket you upside the head. You forgot everyone's name,
Right.
but yet people still know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's very cliche, but you could easily do it.
Right.
Well, personally, I like doing the Western way a lot more, where you make a character and still lets me, because I'm pretty boring. I always name myself Jason. And
Oh,
all my
don't worry, I'm
characters.
egotistic like that as well.
Well, it's just a way so I can live vicariously through this world, and like for
This
some
man
like
gets
Fallout,
Good-
I can make
good job,
decisions
Chop.
and
Good job.
like meet the people
Second
I want
hand
to
check of
do,
the day.
and interact with people the way that I would in this world, and follow a set of ideals.
So shooting them on sight.
No, I don't shoot them on site actually, because I use
You're
makeup.
talking about specifically about Fallout 4?
Ah,
or
okay.
But I mean, for something like an Eastern one, like Final Fantasy, you're set in stone about who you are. You don't get to make decisions. You don't get to represent yourself in any way.
Which is, I feel like it's kind of catering to almost two different audiences at that point. There's one audience that really wants to see their creativity be shown, and then there's one there's one audience where it's more about becoming really invested in an already existing character.
Yeah.
Do you think that's the mindset behind it though? Like, because like me, when I first played Final Fantasy, it wasn't more like I was just like, hey, let me check this game out or whatever. Let's see how this is or whatever. And I think the way I got, like kind of into the characters was pretty much the way that the story developed the characters. So even though I didn't personally develop them, because of how the story was set, and how it actually added around the character, it made me feel a certain way. It made me feel like, hey, I want to, this character wants to. I don't know though. That's interesting though. Actually, now that I think about it, like it's hard for me to finish that topic because I don't know if that's the exact reason.
Okay.
Because if you think about it, like when you're playing Western RPG, right, that are where the character's already set in stone, right?
No, it's Eastern RPGs
Eastern?
typically
Okay.
that have sort of set characters, and then you just play, and then it's more about like the narrative and the story that they go through rather than your story.
It's the difference between being told a story and making your own story.
Yeah.
At its core.
Typically, yeah. So like an example of like an American one would be like Skyrim, because you create your own character, and then you can, if you want, you can like get a mod for extra role play, or you can just like do it in your head or whatever. Like
Well, yeah, but I mean, even Skyrim, you can choose where you go, like how you go about the quest, like choose factions that you go towards.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying is that
Yeah.
Skyrim's more
Maybe
of
they are.
more of a Western, and yeah.
Maybe they are like two different audiences. The one who doesn't feel creative, the other who does.
I don't know. I don't think it's even like a point of like who feels creative and not. I think it's that it goes on the point of what we fundamentally value.
Okay.
Because it's
There
that
you go.
one of the differences is that in Western society in general, it's that we're largely like, oh no, you should speak your mind. You should be willing to open up yourself to different ideas and different like ways of thinking.
Huh.
And it's that I'm not saying that Eastern style thinks this is bad, but it's that they tend to be more conservative in the way that they won't voice their opinions as often, and it's that they tend to only voice their opinions if they know that other people feel the same.
So you're saying that the game is centered, or it's made around viewpoints, like
Kind of.
the viewpoints of let's say Western versus viewpoints of Eastern. Eastern feels, or you don't necessarily know their direct thoughts, but you can kind of experience them through the way the characters act, versus Westerners who you get to choose exactly what you do. So your viewpoint is your viewpoint. Like, cause like Eastern would be like third person. Cloud did this. Cloud attacked that guy. Cloud fell. Cloud died. Whatever. And Western would be more like I died, or I attacked that person, or I went to sleep.
I mean, it depends. I guess you could think of it that way, but I think you could also see yourself as yourself and Cloud being like the same person too. Like, if you're playing and then you die, it's like, oh, well, I died. Or, well, even though technically Cloud, who's a different character, died. And technically in Western RPGs, if you're playing a character as well, it's just one that you've chosen. And you may be more invested in it. Well, maybe not invested, but there may be more of you imprinted onto that character, and so you feel more, I guess, attachment to it. And so you could think of it that way is where it will. Oh, my character died.
And just wait till we have true virtual reality.
Right. Yeah.
Then that's gonna be really fun.
Oh, I can't wait.
You know what I seen? I seen a video on YouTube, and it was like Clash of Clans VR, and you couldn't do anything or whatever. It was just like the virtual reality or whatever. I guess it was the Oculus helm, and it was like one of the archers. He was talking to you or whatever, while like the world was just like emerging around you and stuff. And I was like, wow, it looks so awesome. I said, if that's the thing, Clash of Clans could really take off. Like,
Is Clash of Clans not already taken off?
I mean, like take off even more though. They could like really skyrocket themselves.
Into VR? I don't know. That seems like Clash of Clans. That's the.
It'd be more AR, but VR was
Oh,
like
Starting
starting
to commercials for that.
I don't know. We could actually turn that into another topic for today.
Sure.
About the difference between VR and true VR.
Okay.
What's true VR like?
I don't know. I guess
True form VR.
Well, it's like what I count as true virtual reality is it's kind of like the Matrix.
Sort of.
Is that you are completely and utterly put
game.
into the game.
Yeah, that's awesome. If that was a thing, it'd be fun, but it'd probably be very, very.
Oh,
dangerous.
it's exceedingly dangerous.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually it's going to happen.
It
but
could be cool after they get the whole you die in the game, you die in real life thing.
That's
but
actually
Once they
something
get that
could-
figured out, then it's all good.
That'd be
Yeah.
something that is actually solved quite easily because
How?
all it is that you have to program into the mind that it is just a game, and you.
Well, doesn't that break your immersion though?
No, not really, because one thing that you could do to actually make it very simple is to still show that it's a game is by having a HUD.
Okay.
Because then
Wouldn't that, but like having that, the fact that you said program into your mind or whatever, right? So that means like the program, when you're in there, the program tells your mind that this happens. Isn't that a good way to start brain control though? So wouldn't that be another risk?
possibly.
Yeah, there are all sorts of risks going along with like true VR, where it's like plugged into your head and stuff like that. I would imagine. I mean, ultimately, I don't think we really have a whole lot of experience with how that stuff works, but
You know what I think? I think like at the very least or whatever, I think they should kind of have it like they did at Wizard's Crest or whatever.
Mhm.
But it's kind of like, I don't know how this will happen. I'm just like spitballing here. But like let's say you go into a room, or let's say you can buy a room. I don't know. But like you hit a switch or something, and like the environment unfolds around you, and you have like
They already have something like that. It's in England right now.
really,
Yeah.
and like you can actually feel stuff like the
Yeah.
tables and stuff.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Because
job,
I mean,
England.
it's not a lot.
Good
it's
luck.
Not exactly like that, but it's that what it is that you put on. I think it's a HoloLens, not an Oculus. But
Yeah.
and it projects everything out in front of you, and it's that they have it all laid out that it'll go over the different textures and it'll show it. Kind of like I know my one friend went there. I can't remember the name of it. I feel really stupid.
Hard light.
But it's that you can actually, like, if you rub your hand against, like, a stone wall, it feels like that because they actually, like, have dug into the wall and they've made it stone.
So it's not like it's plugging into your brain. It's real stuff, but then they're texturing stuff over it with the
Yeah.
AR goggles.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I was thinking more kind of like hard light. I know that would be like very. I don't know how far that is because I thought camo suits like that actually make you turn invisible would be like 20 years, but they actually have that in Japan, or somewhere off in the east.
They have something like it. It's actually it is in Japan. It's just that it's experimental right now, and
But
what
it
it
works.
what it actually does is that it projects the thing that's in front of you and it puts it on to
Yeah.
the body sheet. And I mean, it's technically like active camouflage.
It is,
But it's that.
That's exactly what active camo is, though. Except for that when they move, you can see them.
Yeah, and it's that it's also fairly dangerous because what happens is that a lot of people that have actually tested it, they actually get zaps from it, which actually causes problems in the joints and in the nervous system.
Okay.
They'll fix that, and once they fix that, watch. Everyone's gonna active camo up.
Just everybody's going to be invisible.
We really should
probably
probably
not.
get back to the topic.
We were talking about RPGs, right?
Yeah.
I thought you had a really good point with that. It's indicative. The different kinds of RPGs are sort of indicative of the culture and how, Eastern RPGs tend to be a little more conservative and more about like stories about particular characters, whereas with America, it's more about expressing yourself and stuff like that. I thought that was really interesting.
Honestly, if I think about it, I can't think of a single example of an Eastern RPG where you do have like a creative character thing.
Well, I mean, now they're starting to do it. I mean, I know they're doing it with Fire Emblem Fates, Xenoblade Chronicles,
Well-
the new Dragon Quest.
Yeah, but you're still
Xenoblade's
playing
really good.
the role of the part.
Yeah,
you're
true.
not different. You're not putting any character into that character. You can make it look like
Yeah.
whatever you want, but you're still.
And you can
They're gonna
name
do
whatever.
what
Like
the
Mass
story
Effect,
tells them to do.
Like Mass Effect and your Shepherd, even though you can say things and
Well,
do things.
That's an example of a Western RPG that is actually more like an Eastern RPG where you're playing a particular character.
I thought you could modify his looks.
You
Yeah.
can.
You
and
can modify the story slightly, but at the end of the day, the outcome is like the very I can't talk. The very final mission is gonna be the very final mission. You know,
Yeah.
like
But I mean,
that
that's how
won't
it is in
change.
all games. Is that
That's
the
not
final
true,
mission's
though.
the final mission?
that's not true though, because
Typically,
in Skyrim, you know, just because you beat the main quest doesn't mean that's the final mission. Because you also have other little quests.
Well, it's
that
still
you
the main
can-
quest line. It would be
Right.
considered the final mission.
Okay, I can give you that one, I guess.
Like Fallout, I just completed the final mission of the path that I went down, and I
Of
got
the
the
path
little
that
like
you
cutscene
went
trigger at the end.
down.
Who'd you
Yeah.
side with?
Oh, Brotherhood of Steel.
Huh?
Brotherhood of Steel.
Uh,
They're the coolest.
Careful, guys. Spoilers. I haven't played this
I
yet.
didn't spoil anything.
I know you didn't. You spoiled the fact that the book Brotherhood of Steel exists.
Wow.
Yeah, you did.
So
You really did.
Oh jeez.
I was just thinking,
Hasn't the
well-
Brotherhood been in like every game?
they have actually.
and I'll go with this one so that I don't spoil it for him. But I went with the light, the lamps.
Lamps?
Yeah,
You sided with the zombies.
sure I did.
Okay. There are zombies in Fallout, right? That's how it works.
One
There's
if
a zombie
I land,
clan?
two if I see.
I don't know if there's a zombie clan, but there might be actually, but I don't like them. They look
The
creepy.
Ingl-
They
oh, okay. I got it.
So
Got it.
Okay,
To
never
the
mind.
Fallout makers or the Fallout creators, if you ever hear this, or if any of you ever hear this,
Bethesda.
good job with making zombies look creepy.
They're not zombies.
They're not zombies,
They're
they're
ghouls.
ghouls.
Whatever,
Ghouls, man.
Ghouls. You make
Many
them look.
people make that mistake. It says so in the tooltip, but they're not zombies. They're just
I couldn't
people
remember their name for 'em.
irradiated to the point of madness.
But
according to
they're
Fallout
so
tooltip.
creepy,
Yeah,
and I like it. Like I think everything in Fallout, like all the non-human things to me are creepy, except for
Yeah.
obviously the robots.
I've
But
never been scared by the ghouls.
I wasn't scared by them. They're just creepy looking.
I think they definitely look a lot.
because they go down like chumps.
when they're like looking you in the face and stuff. It's like, ugh.
I think they look a lot creepier in Fallout 4 than they do in other games. Because in other games, they just kind of look like, I don't know. They look more like zombies in Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. Whereas with, I think, in this one, it's more like, oh, that's like a weird, like, rotting person or something like that. But,
I had to see this.
As far as is my final thing to say about the Western and Eastern RPGs is that I think both should actually start a comedy or start taking stuff from each other, because I think it would actually lead to a lot of really huge innovations in the RPG genre.
right.
Because I
I'd like to
mean,
bring up a topic.
it's actually something it's something that not a lot of people think about, because it's that RPG is one of the smaller, well-known genres, because people tend to go with like the typical, oh, you play RPGs, oh well, aren't you a nerd?
Nerd.
Yeah, and it's that I actually think RPGs are some of the more difficult ones to write, because it's that, especially if you make a branching storyline like you're gonna need for games like
Well, yeah, they're
Fallout.
more heavily story driven, so
Elder
Yeah.
Scrolls.
requires more attention.
I personally think that RPGs are probably the most difficult game.
Yeah,
Just in generally.
because of
Yeah.
the range of
Because
I
you
didn't want to
need-
say that because there are games like that are more program heavy opposed to design heavy.
Right.
So I think as far as design or what genre is more design heavy, I do think it's definitely RPGs.
Okay. Yeah, I'd agree with-
Programming, it could be, it could not be. It depends.
Yeah, it depends. But I think for RPGs, you need a lot of content, which, you need a lot of people.
You need a lot of people.
And design.
It has
Yeah.
to be people.
But,
Well, it's
if
like
you're gonna be going down the route of multiple weapons and whatnot, you gotta get those all designed out. The mechanics, you gotta pour numbers into all of those. So yeah.
I still find it amazing that one of the most known RPG companies in the world is Bethesda, and all they have is 100 people.
Right.
I
Really?
mean, I find it really interesting.
Square Enix is probably up there.
Yeah, but
There's
it's
a lot
that
of
Square Enix has like 500, I think.
Hmm.
I mean, Bethesda has a really small team compared to most like AAA companies.
Right.
It's probably how they keep like efficiency really high.
Probably why it took them so long to make Fallout 4.
Yeah, probably.
Probably more than
It came out fast though. Like
It
was
was
only a
7
couple
years.
months. Well, I mean, when the first trailer came out, it was like what, only a couple months.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
but
I
I
was
mean,
shocked
like,
that it came out so fast.
in total, it was like
Oh yeah, in
7
total it
months
was
to make
years.
the-
Yeah.
But I mean, even then, it's like there are some games that
7 years.
they have 200 people working on them, and it still takes them 7 freaking years.
Where do you get the funding for like when you're actually making a game? Like when you're in between.
DLC
No. Oh yeah. that's
stuff from
true.
the last game.
Yeah, that's
And,
pretty much.
and then there's just like you bank a lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something that even startups do. Is like
Because they even play it. Because
Make
they
a
play
lot
the
of money
game
if you're
pretty
smart.
much around the world, right? So
Mhm.
it's like you bank in not just America, but anywhere else they sell the game.
I mean, I think Bethesda made back its money on Skyrim alone in like the first month.
Really?
Yeah, that flew off the shelves.
Yeah, I mean, there were places that they had to stop taking pre-orders because they couldn't get any more in their state.
I heard that GTA 5 had something like that, where like I think it had made all of its money back in pre-orders before the game had even come out.
Yeah,
Really?
Fallout 4
Yeah.
did the same thing this year.
Wow. I can see Fallout 4 doing that. I can see GTA 5 doing that too, but that's really
Big
something.
names.
Like when you really expect a game to be really good. They, ironically, in my opinion, I think from what I've heard and what I've experienced, those 2 games actually were really good and pretty much worth it.
Oh yeah.
Fallout's good. Buggy, but you know.
The
Um,
game's pretty much buggy.
Have you guys heard about? Apparently, there's been some problems with, I guess, Halo 5, Assassin's Creed Syndicate,
Wah, wah.
Oh god.
and there was some other like third game I think didn't sell very well. I guess this holiday shopping season.
Who cares about either of those titles?
Well, look, I care about Halo, but the thing is I care about Fallout 4 and what was the other one that came out just recently? Battlefront.
Please don't tell me you like
Well, the thing is,
that.
I think I can't remember if Battlefront was one of them. Was the one that did well or the one that didn't do
I
so
hope it
well?
did that.
Same here.
Halo
Oh
5,
god.
I can see why Halo 5 didn't do it. Like, cause
Battlefront is.
they did a
Battlefront's rough.
they did a poor job on Halo 5. They did a much better job on Halo 4 than Halo 5.
Oh
Honestly,
god.
I haven't
Don't
looked
even
into Halo
start
5 at
with
all.
all the things wrong with Halo in the past couple years.
But as I was saying, okay, so apparently people are sort of criticizing a lot of these big companies for just releasing their software during the holidays because what's wound up happening is that pretty much everybody just buys 1 or 2 games, and then the other companies that are banking on people to buy it during the holidays as well just don't have enough money to buy all 5 AAA games that are coming out that season.
Yeah, it's called competition.
Yeah.
Capitalism.
But they're arguing that like instead
Sorry,
of just
man.
waiting for the holidays, you should release earlier or later or something like that.
well,
Like, we shouldn't just have
in
it
a magical dreamland, sure.
right, but
Release it a day early
It's
or
a-
a day after.
It's
Well-
a dog eat dog world. I
Yeah,
think that's
I mean,
the best way
that's-
to put it.
This is the best way to go about it.
I mean, it's that I actually talked with Emil once about how much of a cutthroat business this really is.
Right.
And he said, like, oh, yeah, you can't eat, like, there's at times where you can't even tell a friend of yours your paycheck
right.
because they might go and they might go, like, oh, hey, you're paying this guy, like, $100,000. I'll do his job for $90,000, and they'll cut you.
Wow.
And it's that I heard that, and it's like, oh, God.
Why would you tell somebody how much you getting paid? Don't worry about that.
I mean,
Just-
if you're tight with friend,
Like,
you trust them,
but
and then they
that's
break
gotta be
the
your
trust,
friend.
and
That
you
has
feel
to be your
betrayed,
friend since
and you
middle
go on a
school.
3-year quest for revenge, all for revenge.
Go, Jason. Let the legend come back to life.
Let the legend come back to life.
And then you put, like, a chopped off horse head in their bed.
Oh jeez.
Oh my
You
gosh.
corner him in an alley with 2 like pistols, and you just spin him around.
And then you make a cat noise for like no reason. And
Oh jeez.
all right, what a tangent.
It's a joke I don't understand. It's
No,
cool.
you don't
It's
understand.
Metal Gear.
All right.
Oh,
Okay, so next topic. How do you guys gamify your lives?
I don't.
You don't.
I do.
I will give you examples of how I do. Well, first of all, probably the simplest way is to just. So I work out, right? The way I work out is that I play. What's it called?
We Fit?
No, not
Dun,
Wii Fit.
dun,
Basically,
dun,
one way you can gamify your life is just by playing a game that just sort of accomplishes your goal for you. Like, I needed to work out, and so I started doing Step Mania, which is basically Dance Dance Revolution, but not. What are you doing, Jason?
Singing the the Wii Me channel song.
Oh, okay. Is that how you gamify your life?
Sorry, I'm
Sure.
Okay.
I don't.
Do we need a break, guys? Do we need a break?
I never
No,
thought
I'm
about
good.
gamifying my life. I guess I keep them separate. I guess.
Okay.
You play like extremely hard mode on Stepmania. Just like hitting spins and just.
Oh god. I wish I could do crazy
Just
stuff like
play
that.
DDR.
Yeah. Well, that's what Stepmania
jeez.
is. It's pretty much just DDR,
Why
except
not just play DDR?
well, because you
Why not
need
just play DDR?
because DDR isn't free. I don't think. I don't know if
It's a
you
game
can.
you can buy.
It's a game you can buy, but with Stepmania, you can actually there's like an online community. And you can just download pretty much any song you want online and then
Oh, that's cool.
play it as a thing.
Okay.
So that's why I like doing that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And then also,
Oh, all the dance moves.
yeah. And then also, I remember when I was a couple of years ago, I was planning on building an app actually that was going to work with my workout as well. So the idea was basically it was just going to be an app with a big button on it, and the idea is that you would press the button and you get like a big rewarding like sound effect and like particle, and it would make a counter go up. And then the idea was that you would use it when you were doing push-ups. So like basically you would put it like right by your face and you get down on the floor, and that every time you do
hit
a
it with
push-up,
your nose.
and then come back down and you touch your nose to the tablet
I
and
hope
it counts for you.
I hope you break your nose with it.
Wow.
The only drawback of that would be like if you start sweating or whatever, depending on how hard you are or
I guess so.
how
So,
hardcore
How
you
sweaty
were.
you are.
Yeah,
So,
you're just like drip.
Life question:
this
Does
boy.
that doing Stepmania does that work for you?
Yes.
Staying in shape.
I
Because
mean the thing is I stopped doing it for a while and I kind of got like super fat
What-
again. But
what is it for?
like what do you mean is it for?
Stepmania. Is that like a
Oh, it's for PC.
PC?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I
How do
think
you
I'm
do that?
trying that because I've tried going to gyms to like work out and I just can't do it.
Right.
So.
You guys are just gonna step mania it. You
Yeah.
gonna gamify. Oh, that's cool though.
Yeah,
That's,
if
that's
I could,
a really
if
interesting
anything, I
one.
should gamify my workout because that'll help me get back into shape.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. See? We're learning, guys.
Wow. Ooh,
What I want to do is completely opposite for working out. I want to go back to my high school and join the wrestling team again.
Fun fact:
'Cause-
George does not work out.
Oh, fun fact. Oh, yeah, like you couldn't tell, but
They
well, they
can't
can.
go home.
Well, you can tell if you've seen me, but
They haven't.
I used to be like up until last year, I was kind of fit, or because of that season.
Just wait till you get those chinibios or
What are you talking about,
chinibios or
Ian?
whatever.
What's a chinibia?
I don't know.
I don't know
I was
what
thinking
that
about
is either.
like you said that you wanted like some animation of like all of us like miniature or whatever.
Oh, Chibi.
Chibi, yeah.
Chibi, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Then they could see George just
Oh yeah, yeah.
in all
Chibi.
his glory.
No, they wouldn't see me that way. They see me as like a little pixelate or a little
They
cartoon.
see me as a
character.
king.
Right, it's like crown is just like slightly hangs off to the right. But how I gamify my life is everything. Everything is a game for me.
Everything. Ooh, examples.
That's because life is boring to me the way it is, so I make everything a game. This right here is me gaining XP. So don't
What
judge
does that,
me.
what does
We
that
talked
gaming
about
XP
this.
Do you level up?
Yes, I
what
do.
rewards do you get for leveling up?
For what rewards do I get for leveling
Yeah,
up?
do you keep track of it?
Yes, I
Like
do.
100 EXP points, you level up
Wait.
to level 2?
One question at a time, sir. Let me answer your
I'm
questions.
so curious.
So this is how it works for me. I do gain XP, but the XP doesn't do as much considering it's just pretty much me counting the seconds until I die. But
George is on a death
nice.
timer.
yeah, that's pretty much what it is. It's like XP,
When he
XP,
hits
like
level 80, he goes
every
into rage
millisecond.
mode.
But I do actually gain skills. Like when I learn something new, it's like skill acquired.
Do you put it in your spell book?
No, it's not in the spell book. It's like in like a journal. You know, like the stats
okay.
page. That's where it is.
Alright.
It's
But
right
it's
next
in
to
my
the
mind.
hack-
You can't
like
see
the
it.
hacky sacks and
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, that's right next
Right,
to that.
so right now, this is like chat log. You know, like I have to press the button in my head, chat, and it says, you know, I have the options. Like I have like kind of like Fable. You know how you can be like be nice, rude, laugh, and like
You
etc.
have like an option wheel.
Yeah, I have an options wheel, and so right now I'm on explain options wheel right now.
That's
And you know the chat's saying explain, or the mission goal or the mission objective is to explain the goal. And right now this is a side quest. My main quest was for today was go to school. So
All right, George. Thank you for letting us
George
know how you
exposed
gamify
on
your.
stream.
yes,
Oh,
it's
okay.
extreme.
Oh yeah, but speaking of gamification, I'm actually doing it right now.
Oh damn.
So you're gamifying your game development?
No, well, I mean, I am, but like, I was talking more about the podcast because I talked to Mike and I actually get what are those points called? Just mothership
I know
points.
what you're talking about.
We get points for this?
Points.
Yeah, I get points for this. You guys, I mean, you guys should talk to Mike about it because I
I
don't know.
assumed we got points. For
I was
this.
just saying, like, what we
Active
do
members of
when we
Mothership. Hello. I want to get that Shao Kahn hammer.
Right.
Oh my gosh, yes. Or the lightsaber. It doesn't matter. Or both.
No one's gonna get the banhammer.
No one is, but I wish.
Well,
much is the
Amel
hammer?
will.
Amel will have the banhammer.
Because he's God.
What's the
Well,
hand-
I
what's
love
the
this.
banhammer?
Like, are you guys actually doing like the little happy, sad faces on them?
Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing. Oh, I want one so bad.
I just want a hammer in general. It's just like, how awesome would it look if you were to walk outside of MATC just with a huge, even if it's fake, just with a huge hammer? You're just like, just
I
walking.
can do
around
that now
it.
with a sledgehammer. So
Right, but then you
That's
then
less
you,
cool.
right, because then it looks like you're going to kill somebody.
Yeah.
Like, hey, what are you doing?
Then you get
Versus
arrested.
Like imagine walking out with a Thor hammer versus a sledgehammer. They're gonna be like, oh man,
Wow,
I
look
wish I
how
had a
cool
Thor
that
hammer.
guy is.
Yeah,
He's just
I
gonna go
wish
kill
I had a
someone.
Thor hammer.
Nerd.
I don't care what anyone says. The people who are quote unquote cool or quote unquote a thug, they're the nerdiest ones. Trust me. Like they're just too afraid to admit it.
Nerd culture is cool now. So I mean,
Yeah.
well, kind of.
So I'm awesome because I was like one of the original nerds.
So
no,
you
you're
can't
just
call-
a geek.
Before
You
everyone.
can't call someone a nerd anymore. You gotta call them a square. That was good.
What's a square?
A square.
Come on, what are you, square?
You're not around it.
Oh,
You're not well rounded. What do you mean?
Why'd you say
you
a
ain't-
square?
You ain't with it. Yeah, because it's square.
You ain't with it.
It's like from the 50s, man.
Is that how they said
Like,
it
if
in
you're
the
not
50s?
cool, you're
Square.
square.
Well, no, but why?
Like, you're not gonna sneak out of your house. Oh, you square.
Geek. That's another one.
Did you kiss Lindsay on that date? No. Oh, he's such a square.
I like to use the word dweeb.
Dweeb.
Yeah.
But I really want to get at someone's heart. Call him a dweeb.
Like that's how they're offended like all the way to the soul.
They just gasp like.
See, when I really want to
How
drive
dare
something
you!
home, I call him a dork.
Dork.
Nah, see, I'm used to that one actually though, cause
Dork.
not like
Yeah,
that though.
an Eddie version.
Oh yeah. My friends used to call me a dork. Actually, they still do, but that's when I say
That's
like,
not surprising.
Well, that's fine.
That reminds me, I was on the interwebs and I saw a post about how
Interwebs?
someone's never heard anyone be called a dork like non-affectionately.
Right,
Like
yeah.
you always call like your partner that or something, but like it just cuts to a picture of Kevin from that show where you have a sign with the dork on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good stuff.
It's pretty true.
I love that show.
Yeah,
You guys
that's
just want to talk
hilarious.
about Ed and Eddie for like an hour next week? I can do it.
Eddie.
I can do it.
We probably
think so.
could, but
Are there any good Cartoon Network video games?
Oh.
Eddie.
let's just go with a no and leave it at that.
I mean, some of
That's
the
not
Adventure
true.
Time games have been alright.
Oh yeah, you're right. I completely forgot about Adventure Time games.
Some,
Yeah.
It was like one Ben 10 game. It was like a platformer. I thought it was really good.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
You have
it
to
was
play as
decent.
Accelerate and then Gray Matter, and I don't think I beat that. I don't think I ever beat the Gray Matter one, but that's okay. That's a story for a different time.
Do you guys watch what's it called? Rick and Morty.
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Because there's
Show me
actually
what you got.
there's an Adult Swim game that is actually it's a point and click adventure.
Oh yeah, I
game.
played that.
Yeah, that's actually, it's actually
Rush License Adventure.
that's what it's called.
Oh,
Rush,
it's so
Rush
much
License
fun.
Adventure.
I
Yeah,
still like the duck game that they made.
That game's fun.
yeah, but that's not like a car. That's not like a
Oh yeah, it's not
proper-
cartoon.
It was a-
based, but-
Yeah, I mean, Rush License Adventure was a like traditional old school point and click adventure.
Yeah,
It was really good.
it was really good. It had like tons of like original voice acting and stuff like that, and I was not expecting
Mhm.
that. And you don't get that very often.
It was licensed, man.
Yeah,
I think it's the real act. Anyways.
right.
Are we still like on a specific topic?
No, we're just kind of jumping all over the place. at
Okay,
this
I was
point.
gonna ask. Have you guys do you guys ever play games, or like when you see a game, do you ever like stop and pay attention to like the scenery, like not necessarily the graphics, but the scenery?
Yeah, I do a lot.
Yeah, sure.
I like to say that I do, but I care about it less than other aspects. but I can appreciate it sometimes.
Why do you ask?
Because when I'm playing Xbox One, like when I see something like I can be doing anything, like no matter what it is. Like in Destiny, I can like be like, let's say I'm in the middle of combat, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I see like a part in like in the map or whatever that I just thought was like really cool, or a place where I could take a picture at or whatever, I honestly go over there and I screenshot it because I was like.
No,
That's something you don't
I'm
don't
just
pay
thinking
attention
about Destiny and be like, wow, look at this area that I was promised I'd be able to play in.
to. Yeah, that's harsh.
But it's very true.
It is.
It's pretty harsh.
But I'm not
I've been watching a game. Speaking of scenery and whatnot, I've been watching a game called Soma. That's like a kind of indie horror-ish game where
Have you guys
like
not heard of Soma?
I've heard of Soma.
Yeah,
Okay,
well,
let's make sure.
you're like a underwater sea base.
Oh, now I have.
Yeah, and like there's just parts where you go down into the abyss and you're just in this pitch black ocean. All around there's like lanternfish.
I know which
around.
one.
Like that's one of the coolest environments
Beautiful
I've seen lately.
scene.
Where it's not much because you don't see nothing down there.
Yeah.
It's spooky.
All right, so I guess while we're on the topic, what's your guys' like favorite environment in a video game?
The one, or when you say favorite, do you mean like the one that was
You can
like,
you can interpret the question any way you want, George.
Okay, so the reason I originally asked the question was because I kind of had like a flashback. It was just kind of random, and there's this game. It starts with a Y. I can't remember what it's called, but like pretty much you take place as like a Russian or whatever. I think you're Russian, or yeah, you're in the Russian Alps or whatever, and you're trying to piece together a story that happened or whatever. And then there's like a demon or whatever. That's
I know what you're talking about.
That game.
Yeah.
And
I don't know what it's called though.
That
It's called like the mystery at
no, it starts with a Y. It's like one word.
Is it in Russian?
Yeah.
Kolat?
No, Kolat.
Yeah, I know.
It doesn't start with a Y. Kolat, like that scenery, even though it's like it's like bare and just like just snow. It's serene and it's really beautiful.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
The fact that I'm thinking they probably did like the maybe they did like mapping or something of the Alps or whatever. Like somebody went up there, maybe took pictures and then.
I mean, they definitely used reference, but I don't know if it's like actually accurate to the
Yeah.
house. Yeah, that's definitely a cool environment. Like, I feel like we don't get Arctic sort of environments all that often.
The reason why we actually don't get many Arctic ones is because so many people have like the fear, or like many designers have the fear of like, well, you can't really do much in the Arctic because a lot of it's barren, and it's that I actually think having barrenness is actually a really good idea.
Right.
Yeah, because then you.
Same could be said about like desert environments.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking like if you have like with snow, you actually like you have more to do or whatever. You can like depend on like how
You can
far
do
you
more
go.
with snow than you can with sand.
You can like if you have snow or whatever, you can say okay.
You can make a whole town out of just igloos.
You can.
You can if you're really.
It look really weird, but
If you're really into it, you can like if you're like lost, you can have your footsteps be tracked, like imprints in the snow.
Yeah, yeah.
So you can see where you've been and stuff.
Yeah, and then just like stay there, or you could
Just stay in one spot.
you could have like wildlife that actually help you progress the story. like,
penguins.
I wonder what game I can't think of the
Penguins.
name. The Long Dark or something.
I think I remember a title like that, but I
The
don't
Long
know.
Dark?
Yeah, it's the game where you actually it's one of those survival horror games
Mm-hmm.
where you get dropped off, or like you end up getting into a plane crash, and then you wake up and find yourself in the middle of one of Canada's forests,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
and it's that like as you step, you can actually see like the footprints coming in behind you, and it's very
Oh,
barren,
wait.
and yet
Does he go into like a house or something?
yeah.
I know exactly what game you're talking about now. And like he stays there for like a couple of nights or whatever, and then he like leaves afterwards.
Yeah, well, it's that you decide everything that happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Personally, I like city environments.
Do you?
environments?
Yeah.
Like which city?
Like big
environments?
urban, like
I like city environments.
one of my
too.
favorite examples of late that I've played. It's kind of old now, but Infamous Second Son.
Hmm.
You play in Seattle, like, and it's like a really hyper realistic version because there's so much to explore and look at,
Right.
and like you always get lost and stuff.
I like environments in general, which is why I'm glad we're talking about this.
Are you a level designer?
Yes.
All right.
Actually, I'm not a level designer. I'm more of this point of, I'm more of like the terrain guy.
So level.
That's me.
So level. So yeah.
Level.
Yeah. What I guess as far as like me and my favorite environments, I like I have two favorite environments. One is from Dragon Age Inquisition, and it's the Deep Roads.
Mm-hmm.
And I love how it's all illuminated and it's all in such a natural and bright way because they used lava and like delirium to just show off a really amazing part about the underground.
Right.
And it's that I think what they did it perfectly because it shows a sense of terrifying, like, because a lot of people have this fear about going underground.
Right.
That's why a lot of people aren't fond of taking like subways and stuff, is because they don't feel comfortable underground, and it's just one of our natural instincts.
Right.
Is to go. I'm going underneath the ground. This isn't right.
That's so weird that you say that because I love going underground.
It's
like
different
I've
for
gone like
people.
cave exploring. I love subways. Like there's a place in Canada where there's like a whole underground mall, and I really want to go there.
Well, I mean,
Where
it
you're
sounds
just like,
awesome. You're just a freak.
I was gonna say he's
He's a mole man.
Mole man.
What's the name of that game where you're Uncharted? I think his name is that. His name is
Nathan Drake?
You're
Drake.
Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
But no, it's that, like, with you, it's just that you have a different sense of adventure. I mean, kind of like most people, they feel comfortable the higher up they go, and some...
Really?
Yeah, because
Wow.
that was actually put into us because of our predatorial instincts when we
Yeah.
were still
I have
cavemen.
the high ground. It's
Yeah.
over Anakin.
I'm a on the ground type of guy. That's me.
It makes
You're
me feel
on the
better. I
ground.
don't-
It's like when you're coding, where it's like, are you on the ground? It's like if on the ground, feel happy, else terrified. Just like.
But yeah, and it's But yeah, I really love the deep roads in Dragon Age Inquisition because it's such nice lighting, and then it really shows how dangerous it can actually be by releasing darkspawn and different types of enemies on you at a time. And then another thing that I've always liked is a lot of the Arctic and tundra spots for different games. I know one of my favorite is actually the White Peak, I think it's called, for Pillars of Eternity. I could be saying the thing
Someone was talking
wrong.
about the game that the other day.
But yeah, it's that it shows off a dark and cold and Arctic environment in such a nice and interesting way
Okay.
that I can completely understand why people are just in love with that area.
Okay. Yeah, I've never heard of that before. I would say that probably my favorite environment in any game is probably Bioshock Infinite environment. I just think it's like,
Sky.
yeah, like
That was really cool.
I feel like we don't get very many like heaven type environments very often.
I mean,
And I just thought that the whole premise was really, really
what was
unique.
that place called? Columbia?
Yeah, it's called Columbia.
I think Columbia, like Sky World from like Icarus, and the only other example I can think of is that there's a Sky Planet in Metroid Prime 3.
Okay.
It was a lot like that, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That's not many examples.
Right, right.
I think they did it in one of the older Fire Emblems.
Maybe the older ones that I can think of. If it makes you feel any better, I'm really scared of the ocean, so I don't like.
Oh no, that's
so-
also pretty common.
Yeah, I guess, but I love those environments in games though, so I can like explore those areas without being in real danger.
Yeah.
Because the ocean is full of monsters.
Yep, you never know when a Kraken might come.
You never know. There could be krakens. We don't know.
The
We don't know!
The ocean is
We
deep,
actually
man.
do know that they exist because Krakens actually came from the thought of giant squids.
Yeah.
And it's been proven that giant squids exist.
Well, yeah, giant squids
Krakens
are
are-
fascinating.
But the Kraken that we're all afraid of, I bet it's still out there.
Oh yeah, probably.
I bet
I
it's
mean,
not
we don't
gonna
know.
die
That's
then.
the scary part. We don't know.
I know.
Well,
This-
it's like-
The
I'm
ocean
a
is the
believer.
most unexplored realm like that we can imagine.
People
except
still.
space.
I mean, this is
Let's
kind
get
of.
closer to the sun, guys. We'll figure out.
But it's like so many people they go and make comments about how like there's no way that the Loch Ness monster could exist, and it's
Totally
that.
good.
Last
there
time I
is.
checked, we've explored about 4% of the
Yeah,
ocean.
there's like 94% of the ocean we don't know about. It's ridiculous.
I mean, we only just recently found the giant squid, and I mean they found that back in 1400.
Yeah. See, you know the thing I always find interesting, like just history standpoint right here, which I think they should have more in games, like how they hint, like how when you look into the past, how it hints on they knew something that for some reason we don't, like the Nords, or like the
Like
let's
in
say
Skyrim? The Nords?
No.
that
the-
means like
real life
Norse.
Nords.
yeah,
Oh,
the ones that
like the
actually exist.
Scandinavians.
Let's say
Okay.
the seafaring people or the seafaring.
The Vikings.
I don't want to say that. It
No,
sounds
because
like-
they didn't come from Minnesota.
Oh no.
Wow.
Like this right there. But yeah, so they they were like, oh yeah, the Kraken exists. You know, it takes down ships over in this area. Don't go over there. The ships will be taken down. You know, and like, then there's like other tribes who are like, oh yeah, the sun will do this, and then it does that, or this will happen, and this will happen, and things actually happen. And then like, you know, when we're here today, we're looking like, how do they know that with like no technology? So it really makes you wonder. You know.
Well, it's
I think
something
shot
that
in
they
games.
actually found out kind of recently is that, and I mean, it's still
They were gods.
kind of speculation,
That's,
but it's
that's
that.
Marvel's canon, pretty much.
But it's that something that actually happened is that they found this odd-looking skeleton out in England that had like a reptilian skeleton, but it had
Really?
wings.
That's awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
I think. What do you think it is? Do you think it was a creature? Do you think it was a human? Or do you think it was a demon?
It was a reptilian skeleton that had wings?
Yeah.
I think the implication is that it was a dragon.
Oh,
But
right.
it's that.
Oh.
It's that the wings came from like the. But what they looked
I was
at it
thinking
is
of a
that the wings
reptilian
don't
man.
match the body.
Oh.
So they're going like, well, it could have always been that like something
Attached
just
to
died
it.
over it.
Right, right.
Nope. It was a dragon.
I think the sheer fact that like a megalodon could still exist in our world,
Is that a
deep in
dragon?
the ocean, and at this point it's probably evolved and adapted that it's even more of a horrible monster. Is
Or is
Well,
that
I
a
mean,
dragon?
it's like-
scary and
Is that what a
fascinating.
megalodon is?
The
No,
thing
megalodon
is-
is a mega shark
I think
From,
even
from
in
dinosaur times.
out of all the creatures we know on the planet, I think scientists admitted that they only know about like 10% of all of them.
Yeah. So Godzilla. I think the
Godzilla.
the Japanese were
logical
onto
leap.
something. Godzilla could actually be a thing, and he could, because in the newest Godzilla that I've seen, the premise actually made a lot of sense. You know, Godzilla only comes up to the surface when there's this amount of seismic activity that is not supposed to be there, and that just hasn't happened yet. So he's just
All right.
dormant right now.
Godzilla confirmed for real life.
Yeah.
We're
If
gonna have
Godzilla
to-
was real, oh, I'd probably cry. Like,
We're
I
gonna
don't
have to
wanna be
build
anymore.
Jaegers now to fight him, and it's gonna be.
Oh my
great.
god.
Yeah,
Let's, let's not fight Godzilla. Godzilla's on our side. Did you not learn?
Sometimes he's on our side.
yeah, sometimes he's
Sometimes
not.
Well, that depends on which
Sometimes
Godzilla.
he's just angry. Yeah, 1999 Godzilla.
We're not counting that one. We're counting.
We're not counting that one.
We're counting 2004 Godzilla.
Or the.
I don't think that one was on our
2014.
side actually. I think the 1999 Godzilla was on our side, but the
No,
2004.
he wasn't.
No.
So it's the 2004 one that was on our side.
1999. Well, it's
Every
2014 one was.
Godzilla up to like the one that just came out has been destroying the country.
That's not true because it was two Godzillas. Remember, or actually, I think it was a movie where there was actually three Godzillas. The robotic Godzilla,
Well, that's not the real Godzilla.
the 2004 Godzilla, and the 1999 Godzilla, and they were like all fighting.
You're talking
or
about.
whatever.
It's not Robot Godzilla. It's Mecha Godzilla.
I was gonna say that, but I wasn't sure.
Also,
like,
am I the only person who was kind of disappointed with the Godzilla movie?
Oh, I'd like
Yeah.
to watch it.
What?
I
You
liked
didn't
it.
watch it?
I thought it was good.
there was no. It was good except for the fighting could have been much better. It could have been actually in there, except for like just one scene. There was one scene where Godzilla actually did something, and it was like, "Yay,
Except for the
Godzilla!"
Except for the final scene. Where
Godzilla.
Gojira. Thank you.
Gojira.
That's 3
But yeah-
apology letters.
Yeah.
Apology
To-
letters.
To all people who have an Asian accent.
How dare you? How dare you?
All right, but what was I gonna say? Oh yeah,
Something about Godzilla.
something about Godzilla. I was really disappointed that like Bryan Cranston like wasn't in the movie like at all.
I didn't care about him.
Well, okay.
Oh, look, it's the guy
Oh.
from Breaking Bad. Who cares about
No,
him when there's Godzilla?
No, what was
That's
supposed
a
to
good
happen was that he was supposed to be like, okay, this is it. I'm
Godzilla.
going to make Mecha-Godzilla, and he makes like a
Godzilla?
yes, a
A
Godzilla,
Godzilla made of meth.
a Godzilla mecha
Amazing.
made out of meth. That was what was supposed to happen.
Yeah, that leaked.
Oh no!
Leaked canceled footage of Metha Godzilla. You heard it here, folks. First, folks.
Oh, no.
man.
That's right.
That's too much for me.
Is it?
I wish they wouldn't have like made up enemy monsters for that.
Oh.
But
For
What was
Godzilla, with
I
like
think they're
Mothra or whatever, that giant moth.
Mothra.
Mothra's wimpy though. Like Mothra's like a
Mothra
fraction.
is the savior of the earth. Protects the earth from all unnatural threats. Now you want to talk about a monster that's on our side?
No, that's
Mothra. No, Mothra.
That's Odin. You sure that's the case? I'm
Like
pretty sure.
It's
Thor?
Thor, technically, but
Yeah, you're talking about Thor. Like
What are you talking
we're
about?
talking
Mothra
about
should
kaiju's,
die.
man. Kaiju's.
I know.
All right, what games you guys been playing?
Godzilla.
Have you?
No, I had that game. Though.
Oh.
It was
Yeah,
really
me and my
good.
friends go back sometimes and play an old GameCube Godzilla. It's really fun.
Yeah. You destroy all monsters, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
That
man.
game's fun.
That's the game.
I've been playing Magica 2, which is a really fun like co-op game where you have like 4 elements and then 4 more elements You can like mix and match them to get like different effects. It's really fun and hard, but I recommend that. It was free for like a day. That's why we got it. And I've been playing, speaking of point-and-click adventures, A Broken Age.
Oh, okay.
That game's really good. I haven't beaten it yet because the puzzles are really hard.
Right.
But like, I love almost all the characters in that game. They're all so likable.
That's a Tim Schafer game, right?
I don't know.
Okay.
But it's like you play, it's like a split story. You pick a character to play, and then you eventually have to play the other one. And eventually the stories like converge.
Okay.
And like this, you think you know what's happening, and there's a lot of really good plot twists, and the story's really good, and the characters are really likable. So I recommend that game a lot. That was also free for a while, so that's why we got it too.
Okay. You in?
Games that I've been playing lately.
Yes.
I got Endless Legends recently.
What's that?
I don't know what that is.
Endless Legends is a turn-based strategy game. I guess to put it as like what it's very simple to is, or similar to is Civilization.
Okay.
But imagine it with a lot of fantasy elements. So there's elves, but they're not called elves. There's different types of human races.
You gotta have your generic elves.
Yeah. There's
Is it orcs or goblins?
yeah, but they're sub-races because no one likes the orcs.
I love you. And goblins.
That's because you play Warhammer. But yeah, and see, he can't even deny it.
I can't. But I've loved goblins since I was a wee child.
But yeah, and then you play as like these ghost people that like inhibit or that like take over armor, and then you can actually like what you do is that you suck people's like life energy out.
Okay.
Which that's a really fun playthrough to do.
That's just rude.
How rude?
Because it's really fun to play as like the super evil character and just go out and like wipe out a whole civilization by like stealing their life force.
Right. Cool.
You know what one game that I'd probably end up making myself and it probably actually would never sell? Probably be like
George Simulator 2015.
yeah, totally.
Oh, that'd be a horrible game.
It would be great.
Yeah, you
you
just go on
gamifies his life.
Oh yeah.
Then like you just like actually you see like actual images of
real life
images of me just like touching the air and like sliding like the freaking
The real life George story.
Yep.
But no,
How
I'm saying
one
like
man became a god.
oh my gosh.
In
No.
his own mind, at least.
Yeah. All right. Go
It's
on.
like
George.
the twist of the story is that it never actually happened, right? And
So wait, you're telling me you're dead?
Yeah,
no,
he's
I'm
dead.
saying like I never actually
He's dead.
became so awesome.
All right, go on.
I am awesome, but that's
Say what you were gonna say, George. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
yes, thank you. Okay, so
Can't remember now.
yeah,
George
I
is
can.
just full of comedy today. I mean, like he's saying he's awesome. I mean, what a joke.
What a joker this guy.
Wow.
Apology letter. I'm signing.
Apology.
Yeah, George demands an apology letter right now.
I actually have them in my bag.
It'd be like you're like an evil person or whatever with like power or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and then like with one swipe you just destroy the entire planet. You're just like ha, and like you see everything just burn.
That's
It's
in
like,
white and black.
What?
That's in white and black.
Like you just do it in one swipe?
Yeah, you can
won't-
wipe out the entire planet in one, like just swipe in white and black. Because what it
with
is,
his
you
hand.
yeah, you play as a god and you build
You
up
can
the
keep doing it?
civilization. Yeah,
What is it? It's called White and Black.
or white and black or black and white.
I would hope it'd be.
I'm
black and
buying
white
that game.
because
How much is it?
I want to play a game called White and Black.
I don't know.
That's not the norm.
I think it's like $5-10.
I'm getting that game.
I mean, you have to look for it on like.
can you
a
at least
couple different
customize your
websites.
god?
Well, I mean, you make the story of your god, and I mean, you can be either benevolent or evil, or you can be like a sun god or lightning
I'm not
god.
gonna be a sun god. I'm gonna be like the ultimate god. So I make it rain if I say it rains. I make it
And it
storm
rains
if I
actual-
said
And
storms.
it rains actual money.
And then I blow you all up. And then I bring you back. And then I blow you all up again. And I
That
bring
sounds
you
fun.
back.
I tried
And then
that.
I get
Yeah,
tired
that
of
sounds cool.
it. Does
Good
sound
way
cool.
to feed your ego.
Then I blow you up again.
But yeah, I've been playing. Well, I bought. And it's a game called Cthulhu Saves the World or something.
I
like
had that game.
Save the world.
It's so much fun.
The thing is, I'm not really that much into turn-based RPGs. I can tell that
you gotta
like,
be into it.
yeah, I can tell that it's a good time if you're into it. But
The same studio also makes a game series called Breath of Death, where it's kind of similar, but you play as like horror monsters, and the main character, the one I have, is a skeleton, so that's fun.
oh, that's cool. But yeah, I picked that game up for like 50 cents. Cause
Oh yeah,
like,
it
on
was really
sale.
cheap.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
The winter sale.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
actually,
the whole series of games was super cheap.
yeah.
It was ridiculous.
And then also Skyrim. And yeah,
No,
still playing my Wood Elf.
Speaking of the Steam sales, I picked up a game called Saturday Morning RPG, where it's like a turn-based kind of like a Paper Mario fighting style.
Oh, okay.
Old school, but like you're living out these old like 90s cartoons adventures. So like there's like G.I. Joe stuff and like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's really funny. It's fun.
That sounds cool. All right. Anything else you guys want to add?
I mean, as far as
my game.
Are we gonna do shameless plugging?
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, before we get to plugs, anything else you want to say?
I did have something. I don't remember what it was anymore though.
I do too.
I mean, I guess I could say that I'm actually probably going to be starting up my company at the end of the semester, but
Your actual company, like company.
Cool.
Good stuff. High five, man.
Yeah.
Air high
Are
five.
you gonna hire the entirety of your current team?
no.
Are you gonna hire them at all?
There are a couple people I'm probably going to ask
Some
if they want
gems
to
in the
join.
roof.
I was gonna say that's probably the best way. Like,
'Cause it's
hey, we can be a company, but I'm not gonna pay you anything.
Well, it's that if I start it up this semester, what I'm going to do is I'm pretty much going to go for people that I can trust, because
I'm just kidding.
I do trust you.
But not. Nah, I get it. I'm only a first year. It's
But would you take a bullet for him?
That actually is what I go by. So,
What, are you gonna join the mafia?
but no. So I'm probably gonna. I already have like a couple game ideas set up, and I already have a couple designers who said that they want to sign up with me. So I guess I'm looking for more people. But
Coolio.
What's your idea?
Don't tell him the ideas.
Well,
Yeah.
Copyright.
Typically,
I can give a very
You gotta keep that
Typically-
stuff under wraps.
yeah. Typically, people don't steal them, but like it's kind of just like
No.
I don't know. It's kind of just
No.
It's
It
not exactly
feels-
polite to like ask people to do something like that, especially like when it's on air.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, man.
yeah, George.
I wanted
What
to
the
share-
hell,
I wanted to share mine specifically.
Think of the children.
dude? If you want to
crying
share your
now.
idea, go right on ahead.
Oh, now
The
you
children
guys
are
make
crying
fun.
now. And that's because of you.
Who is?
The children.
All right,
So I have
plugs.
something I want to plug.
Actually, saying
What do you guys want to plug today?
I guess I'll go first. As for how I got the idea for the Eastern and Western RPGs, that was from Gaijin Goomba on
Goomba.
YouTube. So
I know that guy.
I recommend that everyone watches him. He's really good, especially when he's explaining the different cultures of games, explaining like how culture can affect video games. He does it very well.
Okay, cool. You guys?
I'm gonna do 3 plugs. I'm not gonna tell you what any of them are. But if you look them up, you do your research, and if you like it, you like it. I want to plug Malik Hillard, TMG Cyber 7, and Markiplier. And I'm pretty sure you all know who Markiplier is. He didn't even need plugging. I just wanted to do
doesn't
it.
need plugs. Come on, man.
Jason?
The studio company Lab Zero is working on a new game called Indivisible, which is currently on, I think it's Indiegogo
Yeah,
or
Indiegogo.
Kickstarter. I just funded it recently. They're in their crunch week. This is the last week. They're trying to get the final amount that they need. If they don't make it, they can't launch the game. But it's really good. Look it up. They've got a fully playable demo out right now. That is amazing. So I'm plugging them because they need the support.
Also, we have a demo day coming up on
December 11th.
December 11th at 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. So if anyone out there who isn't originally part of the mothership or wasn't going to be there, feel free to show up. You can see some games that we all worked on.
Yeah, should be a good time. Also, you can buy my game, Demon Hearts, on Steam for PC, Mac, and Linux.
Oh, what's that game called again?
It's called Demon Hearts.
Cool.
It's on Steam for PC, Mac, and Linux.
Oh boy. Also, I'm plugging myself. It's my birthday on the 5th, so buy me drinks.
Happy birthday, Jason.
Thanks.
I will not buy a drink.
I'm
Come
a
on, man,
minor.
don't
I
be like
can't
that.
buy you drinks.
You've made the children cry.
I'll-
They're crying now because of you.
The parents are crying. Too.
Another poor sweatshop.
The first one.
Ian, you make my life difficult.
The
I
parents
do
are
that on
crying.
purpose for
All
you.
right, see you guys later. Goodbye.
Ta-ta.
See ya.
I can't think of something to say.
views and opinions expressed on this podcast are solely those of the original speaker. These views and opinions do not necessarily represent those of Milwaukee Area Technical College.